Welcome back to Two Kims One Pod. My name is Peter Kim.
And I am Eunji Kim.
And we are your pod. Hey, folks. Today is another great episode. Before we get started with our episode, I just want to say thank you for everyone who joined our Patreon.
Yes.
We have some new patrons. Thank you so much. I hope you're loving all the bonus footage, the sneak peeks to all our little videos. You get to see them before it hits the socials. So thank you so much. And then we'll be putting up some more bonus content there for you to enjoy. So thank you so much. And also, for those of you who are new to the pod, or if you're old and you have been listening, please put in a review for us. Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, if you can review, 5 stars would be great. It really boosts us in the algo so that when people are searching for comedy podcasts or whatever, it starts showing up. So a review would be great. You can say anything. It doesn't even matter. Just 5 stars. Anyway, did I tell you last time I was scrolling through our reviews getting ready for today's show, and there are reviews that are 2 stars, but it says, amazing, wonderful, I love them, my best friends. And I'm like, what happened? Did your finger slip all of a sudden? Were you about to do 5 stars and then you it dragged it down to 2? So make sure, folks, that you're It's 5 stars. And be sober when you do this, okay? Don't fuck it up for us. Thank you so much.
Just be tipsy. You don't have to be sober. You just not drunk.
Yeah, if you can drive, you can rate us. Now, speaking of driving, I drove. I've been driving all weekend because I took me, my partner, my younger brother, and my mom. Took our first family vacation that was not in Las Vegas.
Wow.
So, yeah! First of all, I want to say I'm so proud that this degenerate Kim family plus my white boyfriend really came together and avoided gambling, avoided throwing all our money away.
Yeah.
Possibly losing a deed to a house. JK, none of us have deeds. We don't own. So,
wait, is this the first vacation you've ever been on with your family?
Ever. That wasn't a casino.
Wow.
Those of you who have been listening for a long time know that my family vacations have always taken place in casinos.
Yes.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. Monday you had off, we were at the casino. And we were at the casino so much they would send us black cars to stuff us and all our degenerate cousins into the stretch limo and take us to the showboat Atlantic City.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so that's been our life, but this was the first. My mom turned 65 this weekend. 331.
It's a big deal in Korean culture.
Huge deal.
60, yeah.
And I missed her 60th because I was drunk and poor. So I did.
You showed up.
I showed up. Yeah, I showed up this time. I spent some money. I took her to Santa Barbara. Took the whole family to Santa Barbara. We rented a whole place.
What are the fanciest? What about the dogs?
And there are only 2 Airbnbs in Santa Barbara that allow dogs. This was the cheaper one. So we got girl, I could not. There's no way. The richer one, the more expensive one that you can bring dogs. Give me a guess how much per night. Nightly rate.
$800.
$1,250. Can you even fucking believe per night?
I love these dogs.
You these dogs better be fucking purest of bread, bitch. They better be running the Iditarod.
Yeah.
They better be doing tricks, flips, and all the rest. Cause
they gotta be. It needs to be your private chef. That's what you're bringing. That's
$1,250 a night. Are you fucking kidding? For 3 bedrooms, it's not even like a palatial mansion. Yeah, no. For a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just Pyongpamun Airbnb, $1,250. So I was like, okay, do not love my mom that much, or anyone,
dog,
or anyone in my family, including the pets. Trust me, my love has a number, and it's lower than $1,250
a night,
because we were staying 3 nights. So how much was that? $1,250.
Expensive.
$1,250. Yeah, over $4,000, not including the pet fee. Not including
There's a pet fee on top of that?
On top of it. The $1,250 is just to rent the place. And then there's the cleaning pet service fee, which comes out to hundreds of dollars. You know how they do it, right? This is why everyone's like, let's go to hotels anymore. Oh, yeah. The Airbnb, I don't know about Illinois, but out here they have all these fucking fees that they put on top of the thing. So when you go to check out, it's like $12.50 a night, but it comes out to like $1,600 a night.
Damn.
You know, so like I know, so it's like $5,000 just for 3 nights
to go to a suburb. To go to a suburb of LA.
Hello, I don't care how nice the air is or how fresh the uni, but yeah, Santa Barbara is rich.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara's for people who are like, okay, these are the people who live there, right?
Okay. Santa Barbara is like the setting of one of my favorite shows, Psych.
You are a Psych stan.
I'm a Psych
I'm
head.
surprised you haven't written the reboot to it yet. It's so strange because you talk about it so much.
I talk about it all the time.
It's psychotic. But
I
yeah, Santa Barbara.
know of it through Psych, so I'm familiar with how like. Nice
and I bet they didn't even
is.
shoot there. They just did all the outside B-roll there, and they shot at a studio in Hollywood. Anyway, so Santa Barbara, you know it from Psych. It's a bougie place. It's nice. It's beautiful, clean air, etc. It's so like bougie that right south of Santa Barbara is this area called Summerland, and right north of it is this other area. I forget what it is, but
Winterland.
Yeah, south and north of the coast of Santa Barbara. If you look out to the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. In Santa Barbara, if you look out, it's clean, pristine, nothing.
Okay.
If you just go around the bend, a little south and a little north, oil rigs everywhere. Yeah. So like, they're so rich that they I don't know, somehow got their views clean. Of oil rigs.
Exactly. They don't want to ruin their view.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Don't fuck up my vista. Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they pay a lot for those vistas. Wow. $1,600 a night sometimes. So I took my family there to this cheaper place, and let me tell you, this Chinese guy who owned the place did not tell me it was going to be a back house.
What do you mean a back house?
First of all, it said a complete house to yourself.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Turns out this was a back house, like a carriage house, not the main house.
Oh, and it's a coach house.
Coach house. It's a 4-bedroom coach house.
What's the first house?
Huge, gigantic, but it was under construction. So like, he hid the fact that there was A, construction happening, and B, that this was a coach house, not the main house.
Yeah.
So but it said in the Airbnb, you will have the entire house. You're not going to fucking be bothered, right?
Yeah.
And so he comes and he's like, oh, is it okay if I just work in the main house just quietly? Because, you know, like we're trying to get this construction done in time and blah, blah. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I paid a lot of money to stay in this carriage house.
Yeah,
that you didn't tell me it was a carriage house. Slightly less money than
the first place. Yeah, slightly less money, but still a lot of money. Yeah.
Because I can't afford it. But secondly, you promised me that we would have this whole place, and now you're about to do construction in the middle of our 3-day vacation? No.
Yeah.
And this is not happening. And you know, luckily he did not fight, and he said okay, and he left. And then the next day the gardeners came, like they're like doing the wind blowing, the weed whacking. I'm like, what the fuck? You did not tell me there were gardeners come. Like, you got to tell me this shit. Like, this is awful. This is a vacation. I'm paying. So,
I don't want to see work. I'm on vacation. I don't want to see anybody working.
I don't want to see anyone struggling or sweating and making dollars an hour. Like, I don't want to see that. Go away. You're ruining the fantasy.
Oh my God, Peter.
I know. I sound awful, but I put down so much money for this place that I wanted it to be perfect.
Of course.
Anyway, so we go there, and already, you know, my mom's been with me for 3 days before this, you know.
Okay, yes.
And already
how was the Ross Dress for Less sweater excursion?
She complained the whole time. We went to the biggest Ross Dress for Less in LA, and she said, "Oh, Hawaiian and Tomano." Like, this bitch is miserable. She is never happy. There's always something to complain about.
Yes.
Right? Like, we'll go to a nice restaurant, and it's like, "Oh, 너무 어두워." It's too dark.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the fuck? You just don't. The only things you are able to say are things you don't like. This is where I get it from. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like this. There's almost this feeling that, like, if they are satisfied, if they do try to be okay with something, if they express gratitude in a way, that
Joy.
they'll die.
Yeah, they'll
They're like there's a fear of it.
they'll dissipate.
Something will happen to them. It's almost that level of fear and avoidance of gratitude and feeling content. Like if they feel like if they stop running, if they stop complaining, that's the moment that they get you. Like it's just a bizarre level of like resistance to the idea.
Yeah, I think it's because they feel like, and I say they, but like just Korean parent or like Korean Americans or whatever, immigrant parents, they feel that life is worth it if it is struggle.
Yes.
And if you're not struggling, then there's nothing to talk about.
It's
like,
if it's not work, you're dead. There's no vacation. There is no vacation.
And here I am trying to give her a fucking vacation on her 65th birthday. Like the only time she didn't complain is when we went wine tasting on this vineyard, and she was so happy, but she was also like wine tasting, so she's like 6 bottles in, like drunk off her mind. And the whole time she was drinking, and of course at the end she was like, oh, like drunk and tipsy and like finally happy, right? So I asked my mom, I go, "Amma, are you happy?" She goes, "I am happy." And I go, "Oh, really?" And she goes, "Yeah." I was like, wow, it was so like moved by hearing her say I am happy. I wish she was sober. I wish she wasn't slurring. She was blacked out. She didn't even remember the next day. I was like, "Remember when you were happy?" She was like, "No, I don't happy. I don't do happy." Like it's just like, God, we missed it. Like I wish I like videotaped her saying it, because now she's like, she was completely blacked out.
Yeah. Of course. It didn't happen. Don't accuse her of happiness.
I know. So it was a frustrating time, but I will say I am very proud of myself. I bit my lip. I did not fight with her. She was saying some crazy things.
Was she?
She was saying some crazy things. She littered. We were in the car. She took a piece of gum and then she opened the window and threw the wrapper out of the window. Me, my brother, and Eric were like, "What?" And we turned around and we were like, "Did you just do that?" And she was like, "Yeah, whatever. Like, it's a small little thing." And I was like, "Why would you do that? Are you crazy?" She's like, "Oh, whatever. It's tiny. Who cares?" I was like, okay, so if you do it and then a million people do tiny things, then that becomes a huge thing.
You actually like, said that? You actually...
Yeah. And she was like, "Why are you getting so upset?" And I was like, you know what? She's right. Why am I getting so upset? She's a 65-year-old fucking dinosaur.
Litter bug.
Yeah, litter bug. Of all the things that I could be disillusioned and upset by my mom, that was the highest on the list. I was like, what? The litter bugging thing, and immigrant parents, let me know if your parents do this too. The littering and the non-tipping almost sent me over the edge.
Oh, then
being cheap about the test. Oh my God.
The littering. This is what I'm saying. Like littering is just a part of that culture. I don't think my parents have ever not. I mean, the gum wrapper. That's where it goes. It's out the window. My parents wait to unwrap gum to be in the car so they can throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, because that's where it goes. Like that's
their favorite pastime.
I mean, like the idea of that littering and like the earth, that's just crazy. I don't know anybody. I mean,
and she doesn't understand climate change, and she doesn't want. Oh, this is another thing.
But Korean people in Korea do know.
They do know, and my mom's watching video podcasts.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, hit subscribe, and anyway, and rate and review. But she's listening to Korean podcasts, and I'm catching glimpses of it, and I can tell it's Fox News. It's like the Fox News of Korea. Like I can just tell. You know what I mean? Like the way, like her opinions about homeless people. She was like, "Oh, there," and I'm like, Amma, if you didn't have me, you'd be a kujiseki too. You'd be a little kujiseki too. I did. I was like, and she was like, "No, why?" And I was like, "Okay, well, if I stop making money, where are you gonna live? How are you going to exist?" If you didn't have, these people don't have families they could turn to. She was like, "Yeah, I get that, but like they're all addicted to drugs." And I'm like, "Yeah, do you know how addiction works? Yeah. You do it once and you're fucking addicted. Like that's why it's a sickness."
You were trying to talk to her about it?
I was trying to make her understand why blaming homeless people for being homeless is such a sick capitalist thing. And she like was like, oh, 그래? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. She
그래?
like she doesn't give a fuck what I'm trying to say.
She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care. I mean, it's
She
just crazy
doesn't
that
give
you
a
even
fuck.
tried. Really, I'm more concerned about you trying to convince
I know.
her.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Because I have to spend the whole week with her. So if she's saying all this like crazy fucking conservative shit, like hating on homeless people, hating any progressive agenda.
Yes.
She was talking about her friend's daughter who I've met before.
Yeah.
I won't say her name, but she is considering top surgery
Okay.
because she is trans. And she was like, she's telling me like, oh yeah, 미쳤지. Why is she so crazy? Why would she do that? Well, everybody in Korea wants bigger boobs, but she wants smaller boobs. I'm like,
That's not
Mom,
what this is.
this is not a breast reduction, Mom. What the fuck are you talking? And Eunji, imagine you sitting in the fucking car in traffic, trying to listen to this. I was going nuts. I was going absolutely crazy. I was doing my
I applaud you for
exercises.
even trying. I applaud you for even trying. I really do.
I was trying to tell her what trans meant. I was just like, I need to get.
That's crazy.
I'm going. My head's about to fucking explode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Like. And then the last thing she said to me, and I literally like just turned my operating system off. She goes, "Yeah, I met this woman who has a daughter, right, in Korea, and she's 1 year older than your younger brother. So that's no good because Arlen can't date an older girl." And I was like, okay, already alarm bells. And then secondly, she goes, and you're no good because, and I go, okay, what did you tell this mother? Because this mother was very interested in both of us because she found out that we're both unmarried.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she said the younger one is available, but the older one is not available. And I was like, why did you say I was unavailable? Like, what was the reason? And she said, oh, because of your career. And I was like, you didn't tell her I was gay and partnered? And she was like, no, of course not. Like, she's my church friend. What's she going to say? And I was like, why do you care? She's like, Peter, I have no friends in Hawaii. I can't lose this one. I was like, oh, so you're going around lying to your friends. And she was like, I will tell her eventually, but now's not the time.
That you were unavailable to date her daughter because I'm obsessed too with my busy?
Career. Yeah. With your career. Many lies? I know. How many lies do you want to tell, mother? I am not busy enough. And
but that's
a homosexual.
Not a good reason. That's not a good reason. Like, as a Korean mom, that's not like a reason. Like, oh,
that's a reason to get married.
Yes, that's what I mean.
He'll make the money and leave you alone. That sounds amazing.
Kimbap at home? Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That's not the reason.
That's not the reason. And then she lives with her older sister. You know this, my emo.
Yeah.
And then she was like, Peter, like, not everyone's like me. And I go, well,
what do you mean?
Thank God.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Explain. And she goes, oh, your emo, her older sister that she lives with. She's like, emo doesn't understand. She's like, she doesn't understand, gay. And I go, why does she need to understand? What's there to understand?
Yeah.
She's like, no, but like she doesn't support. So she doesn't want like her talking about me and my boyfriend. So she can't talk about us in her 2-bedroom apartment in Honolulu.
Wait, did you know that about your emo?
No. I figured because, she's of a certain age.
Sure.
But now I'm like, this bitch is fucking crazy. No wonder, like, whatever. Anyway, the point is, she was testing me, my mom.
Yeah.
For a week. She's still here, by the way. She's right outside. Yeah.
Okay.
Complaining about how dirty my house is, and she's cleaning the house, and then she's like, "아이고 허리 아파. Look at how much work I'm doing. I wouldn't do all this work if you kept a clean house. Where are your panties? You have no more panties." That's a callback from when she thought I had no underwear, and she was really upset about how she raised a child who doesn't keep like clean underwear. It was in the hamper, Mom. It was in the hamper.
This is also during your hammock era.
I know, it was true. Whatever. I lived in a hammock for a while. It was necessary. But anyway, I'm glad to say that I haven't blown up at her yet. We haven't fought yet.
Really?
But
In spite of all of this?
in spite of all, I know. If I didn't have Eric there, like holding my hand and like massaging my temples, like
Yeah.
I would have absolutely fucking.
What are the
gone off.
psychotropic drugs you were on?
I did some mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah. I was mini dosing mushrooms because I was
Okay.
like, I need to be in an open,
Yes,
like loving
yes.
space.
I'm just like, this is not natural.
No,
Tell
it's
me-
not natural at all. Trust me, there's no way I was soberly doing this.
Yeah, I was just like, what are the drugs you're on to help you have the strength to carry on? Like, I like the fact that you even
Girl.
tried. Like, I really applaud you. This was how many days has it been consecutive that you've been with her?
She got in Tuesday, so it's been 7
Almost
days.
a full
This is
week.
the 7th day. Oh yeah, it's been a full week. I can't like talk to her. I don't want to look at her anymore. You know what I mean? Like I love her, but no more. Today she was like, okay, it's my last day. Let's all go to dinner in K-Town. And I made up a show. I was like, sorry, I can't. She was like, why? I'm like, I got to do a show. She was like, oh, maybe I'll come. I'm like, no, you can't. It's too expensive and I don't want to pay for you. She was like, oh, okay.
It's all
was
gay
like-
people.
Yeah. Your sister will hate it. And so I told my brother to just pick her up and go to dinner alone because I just can't. She's also in my house.
Yeah.
She doesn't stay at his house. She stays in my house. So I have to. I'm gonna freak out. This is why people kill. This is why like family kill each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's like, anytime that happens, there's never a moment where I'm like, what happened? I'm always like, I get it.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I am with you. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, empathetic. Anyway, so she's been driving me crazy, but 65th birthday was done. It felt nice. I got one nice comment out of her, albeit in a complete blackout, and now I can send her back to Hawaii and not see her for another 6 months. So my due diligence is done. Oh, did I tell you? Let me just end with this piece. Last week I was telling you she was in a broke ass mood. Remember?
Yes.
She came from Vegas.
Yes.
Her 3rd time in Vegas since Christmas.
Inside of every month. Like she was
It's
going
March
every month.
31. Like she's literally going once a month. And let me tell you, she's not going to look at the free fountain show. She's spending. I gave her a huge chunk of money on Christmas. I'm talking huge, right? And she has spent everything. I'll just tell you right now. I gave her $9,000. Okay, I gave her $9,000 cash, and I was like, "This is for your whole year." Okay, so with Social Security, with food
Yes,
stamps,
of course.
with this cash,
That's enough.
you don't have to work.
Yeah.
Like just chill because remember she worked at Subway sandwiches for
Yes,
like a
yes.
week. She was
Wait, she didn't. What happened after the week?
she tried to be a Subway sandwich artiste.
Yeah. And
then she couldn't remember all the ingredients and it was like and she couldn't stand for that long so she quit. So she has no job. She has no income besides Social Security, which is taxed, by the way. Did you know
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Of course you did. So because your parents are on it.
Yeah.
So all of that, and so I gave her $9,000. She came to my house on March 28th, and she had $160 left from $9K. You know how long it took me to save $9,000 as a comedian? That's so much fucking money to save.
This bitch is littering money. Like that's crazy.
Seriously, she might as well be throwing money out the fucking window because I think that's why it started off wrong because like she was embarrassed. Like she was
당연히.
Of course, right? But you know when Koreans get embarrassed,
They get
they
mad.
don't turn soft.
No, they turn mad.
It's the exact opposite.
Why are you putting all these expectations on me?
Yeah.
Why you gotta make me feel embarrassed?
All I do is live for you and your brother, and this is how you treat me.
You make me feel embarrassed. Like, because I made a mistake. Like, it is truly insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, 당연히, like, oh my God. So then, wait, have you guys talked about it? Did she ask you for money?
Yes. Yes, she did. She asked me for money. I said, you will not be getting another dollar from me until Christmas. All
And
right.
then-
And come Christmas, I'm gonna give you a monthly stipend.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm gonna give you.
Yeah. You
But
have to do that.
she told me that because she's getting Social Security, she can't get like electronic transfer or whatever the fuck, right? So she needs cash. And this bitch is wily like that. And I believed her because I didn't want to do the research. Good on you guys. Exactly.
You got
I'm
hustle.
the
You got
idiot.
hustle. Yeah, you got
I'm
hustle.
the asshole. But when it comes to my mom, I'm always gonna get got. Is what it comes down to. Like I'm never going to win.
Yeah,
I'm always going to be the loser, no matter what. And I have to just be okay with that. And
Cookie, maybe that's maybe the issue is that like with a lot of second gen or first generation kids that have parents, there is an American idea that you can win, right?
Yeah.
And that somehow
one winner, one loser.
Yeah, that somehow if you work hard enough, you put in the hours, then you can win. And the thing is, in this immigrant game, you will always lose. Like there's
Always.
just no. It's the game is stacked against you. There's only one winner, and it's always the parent. There's absolutely
Always.
no way.
No.
And it's the expectation. Because like I think that as growing up in America, you think that you have the opportunity exists for you to win. That's what America's all about.
Right.
But
That's
then
it.
there's American expectations, and then there's the Korean reality.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough but there's a freedom that comes from like at 65, I guess I'm coming to terms with that fact that I'm not going to win. No matter how Santa Barbara the bitch gets. Like, and I told my mom, I was like, this Santa Barbara Central Coast, etc. Like the wine country is very similar climate-wise to Italy and Tuscany, right? So like same types of shrubbery or same types of wines or whatever. And I told her like this thing about Italy. She was like, "Oh, 너무 멋지겠다. It must be so nice." And I'm like, I almost said, "Oh, maybe we should go to Tuscany sometime." And then I immediately
Put it back in your mouth.
put it back into my throat, and I said, "No, you will not ruin Tuscany for me." That's how that's my well-being, and that's my health and wellness.
You're
is to
keeping
say
Tuscany
no to
for
you.
yourself. You're saying Tuscany. If you're saving Tuscany for yourself,
For me, myself, and I, no one's gonna ruin it for me.
this is a reason. Like my mom always used to tell me. I don't know if this is like a Korean idea, but there's this like idea of like my mom was always telling me that this is a backhanded compliment of hers, of course, but she's like 욕심이 많아서. Because I have so much like selfishness and greed. Like she's like, you always have to you need to have some selfishness. Like you need
That's
to
so
keep something
funny,
for
Eunji.
yourself.
My mom always used to say to me when I was young, 욕심이 없어.
Yes.
Because I used to give my stuff away. Like my mom would buy me toys and I would give it away to friends to buy their friendships.
Wow.
And she was like, "너는 왜
did that.
욕심이 없어?"
Yeah.
And that's so strange. Okay, anyway, go back to you. So you have too much 욕심.
I have too much 욕심, and she was saying that that there are parts of it as a woman that are good to do that, to hold
Yes.
parts of yourself back. And she's obviously someone that doesn't have any 욕심, and she's all giving and all this stuff, and has this ungrateful daughter. That's ultimately the message that she's going
Yeah,
for.
she's a saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the devil, and unfortunately, like she's given birth to this. But like saving Tuscany for yourself, that's like good 욕심. That's healthy 욕심.
I'm learning it now at 40 that I have
Yeah.
to save things for me.
Because it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're gonna lose the game anyway.
That's what I'm realizing. It's rigged.
Yeah.
It's like the American dream. It's absolutely rigged. And there's this like little dangling golden carrot in front of
Yes.
me. And I'm going, I can make my mom happy. I can make my mom happy. We can all be a happy family. This is going to be great. I can undo all the trauma from my childhood. And
No.
guess what? You cannot. You
Yeah.
cannot. Unless we are in family therapy together, this won't happen. This will not happen. So I'm giving up on that. And I'm giving up on me feeling guilty about not being the son that my
Perfect.
mom
Yeah.
the perfect son, or like I know that doesn't exist, but like the one that my mom deserves, right? And I always wanted to be the son that my mom deserves.
Yeah.
And what I'm realizing is that my mom deserves a son like my younger brother. So that's great. Done. Washing my hands off.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, it truly doesn't. I mean, I learned that when I was very young. Like, because my family and I all went to family therapy because I was like so.
Oh yes, that's right.
Dysfunctional as a teen. I was so fucked up. And so, can you imagine my dad, no English, is like sitting in this room with this like well-intentioned white lady like covered in scarves, being like, what's happening? And like, they didn't understand what's going on. But like that inside of that moment, like my mom and I just recently got into a fight about me not being a good daughter, et cetera, et cetera. The perennial argument, right?
Yes,
I'm not giving enough.
It always comes down to that.
Yes. There's a version of me that I am never amounting to. And it's like, we got into it and I finally was just like, I never usually engage anymore because like, I know that it's rigged.
Fruitless.
And also for me, I could not imagine spending this much time with my parents. I microdose my parents.
There are times.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking to
emancipate yourself.
I'm trying to limit the interaction over the course of many, many days. And so spending that much time. But like,
well, also you live near your parents, so
exactly,
like they could show up at any given moment. My mom, there's a Pacific Ocean in between us, so like that's the big thing is that like my mom does not have access to me normally, so I have to do these like long kind of protracted trips.
That's like. That would be rough for me because like the microdosing is helpful. It's like it's a routine, sure, but like if she's in, she's out. She's like, anyways, we were getting into it. I don't typically engage anymore, but she was really, she woke up and she had some energy. I don't know if the ginseng tea was really hitting. She
chewed on some red ginseng. Yeah, she got the fire in her belly, bitch. She's out here
feeling strong.
Yeah,
she was coming.
Ready to crush spirits.
She's coming for me.
Yeah.
And I just like, and she's like, why don't you try? Like you don't even try. You're not putting forth any
what's the
effort.
context? What's the context? Try
about
what?
not being a good daughter, like not calling enough, not doing this. Like it's a perennial thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you're in my house almost every fucking day, lady. Like what?
Yeah. What do we need to call for?
What else do you want from me?
Yeah.
She wants she wants me to be softer, more like chakana. You know what I mean?
No. That's
not me.
That's like trying to draw blood from a stone. You're not going to be a kind, sweet girl all of a sudden.
I am not.
Just because you had a daughter?
Yes, I am a turn up girl. You're looking for an orange. Like I'm not juicy like that.
Best you're gonna get is a radish, hun.
Yes,
move along.
On my best
Keep
day.
it stepping.
On my best day, I'm a radish. But
bitch, you're looking for a pomegranate tangerine. All I got for you is root veggie.
You're looking for a pomelo. I am root.
Yeah.
So she's like, she's complaining, coming at me, and it's just like I finally was just like, what would it matter? Like, what would change if I gave you more calls? And I looked at her, I was like, if I called you twice a day, you would complain that I didn't call you 4 times a day.
Exactly.
If I called you 4 times a day, and I was like, and she starts laughing.
Because she knows it's right.
She knows it's
right. She
right.
knows it's true.
And she starts laughing, and she's like, nah, and I was like, no, it's 100% true. There's like, you are going to constantly change the parameters of what you require of me to be a good daughter. Yeah. So I'm giving you as much as I can at any given moment. I'm not trying anymore. Fuck striving. Fuck that. Like, no, I'm giving you as much as I can. And this is like, knowing that she will never be satisfied was such a liberating idea for me when I was like in my early 20s. It was just like, I let go.
Wow, you did that 20 years ago. That's amazing.
That's why we do not have
incredible.
We do not have a close relationship.
No,
we are not like,
you guys don't like chit chat and talking gossip.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You're more like that.
It's very mother son. I'm mother daughter.
I think it's more like
it's almost like mother-in-law and
yes,
shitty daughter-in-law.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's like it's a very business-like relationship.
Transactional.
Transactional, and she wanted to have some takan like
she wants y'all to be close.
Yes.
That's what she wants.
Yes.
She wants to like
yes.
Oh my god, did you hear about this ajumma or whatever? Like
yes.
She wants a friend.
And I have enough. Like, I don't. Like, also, what is she?
You're looking for a fan.
I'm like,
and she's like, no, girl.
No.
Not that.
She's not even, I mean, she doesn't she doesn't even really like me, and she doesn't know who I am. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the relationship that we have. She just is constantly complaining about it.
She's never going to be happy.
She's never going to be happy.
Trust.
So,
My mom's never going to be happy.
So it's
Again,
just like, why?
just going back to like, yeah, happiness, the pursuit of happiness is a fallacy. And especially for our parents.
Yes.
And I think you're right. The sooner we give up on that, the more liberating and free and happy we will be. And it's taken me 40 years to finally like understand, like, I could give my mom the dopest vacation, the second bougiest, Airbnb that allows dogs. And it's never going to be good enough for her. And another thing is, and I said this in a previous episode when we went to Vegas, and she wouldn't go to like shows with me. Remember, I told you I was like,
yes.
And I was so upset because I was like, my mom's such a loser. Like, she only wants to go to Vegas and throw away the money I give her. Like, she doesn't want to like build a memory.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Learn something new. Experience a new type of art form. Nothing. And she and my brother are exactly the same. They travel exactly the same. They're very like, I only know what I know. And even like, okay, I don't know if this is a thing that is just me and Eric, but like Eric and I are always like, anywhere we're somewhere new, we're trying to look for like the best food or like the thing to do, or like what's a thing that we will take away from this new place that we could be like, I did that shit. I saw that shit. I conquered. But they have none of that. They have no curiosity. There's no like, every time they're like, oh, is there some kind of food around here? I'm like, you can Google.
Yeah.
You can look it up. And they just won't. And
They're default settings. They're default settings.
Yes, exactly. And I don't mind planning a trip because like I like to plan and stuff, and I like to show them like, this is what I experienced. Don't you love it? And so they did really love the fact that like I planned everything. They were thankful for that.
Of course.
But there's no sense of curiosity. Like every morning my mom wanted to just like clean the Airbnb because she was like,
what she knows.
That's what she knows. Just to like, even at my house, I'm like, oh my, let's take the dog out and let's go see, like for a hike, a gentle hike, or like go see another neighborhood. Maybe there's a croissant we could taste in Silver Lake. She's like, no, I'm going to do Sargoji and I'm going to make sure your house is clean and then complain about it, because that's how I want to use my time with you.
And look at my phone and do this.
She's literally on her. I mean, I sound like a fucking, like I have a child. I had to literally tell my mom, I was like, can you get off your phone?
Yeah.
Because she can't even see the phone because it's so like the view is tiny.
Yeah.
And she's watching Korean YouTube the entire time. And I know this shit is like fucked up MAGA shit too. And it's just like, it's so annoying. And she doesn't want to do anything.
My parents are exactly the same way. I mean, my family has never gone on an overnight vacation anywhere. Like
that is so
sad.
Three
of us. It's really sad. I mean, we've been to Korea together, but like outside of that, you know what I mean? Like inside of America.
That's not really even a vacation. That's like you have to do all the due diligence with family.
All we're doing is packing the suitcases filled with like American coffee and like, you know what I mean? And then bringing back.
Yeah. So you could empty it and bring back seaweed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back ojinga and like kim. Yeah. Literally. It's like actually like a weird trafficking thing. So like... but my parents have never gone anywhere. It's very depressing because they have the same sort of lack of interest in things. And I realize it is the oppressive grind of capitalism that has literally crushed their soul into such a fine powder that they are unable to experience joy outside of work. Like they cannot
just
find
busy.
Purpose. Yeah, they cannot find purpose. Like I've asked my mom so often, like my husband and I have offered to pay for vacations, go on a cruise, we'll do this.
You'll pay the whole thing?
Pay. Yes. Yeah. Like for real. When things were flush, we were looking to be generous. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like you're talking about, she's always telling me about Yokshim. I'm like, no, because she wants me to give her $200 to buy something stupid. And I don't want to do that. Fuck that. Because she's going to do my pabari, my like what stupid shit that she doesn't even have friends to brag in front of, you know?
Exactly.
She doesn't go to church, doesn't do anything. So why is she doing this? So she can tell my emos?
My mom just started going to church at age 65 so that she could brag. And now she has these new bags. My brother bought her a Kipling bag. You know Kipling?
Yeah.
That Korean fucking brand. it looks like a windbreaker. Like, what are we doing? And she's like, oh, no, we put it. Like, all the ajumas wear it. And she's like, look, I look so sporty and young. I'm like, bitch, you don't go anywhere. Would you talk about sporty and young?
It's truly like so depressing. So like that is the byproduct of like living in America and having money be the only goal and the answer. And you
just collecting goods.
And you see how pointless and fruitless that is. Like even the idea of pursuing work that is emotionally fulfilling is strange.
It's
to my
crazy.
mom.
Yes.
She does not understand.
She doesn't get it.
She does not get it. She doesn't understand wanting something for yourself outside of this. And it's people are like, oh yes, this is like an immigrant thing. They want the best for you. It goes deeper than that. It's not that they want, it is for sure, they want security. They want us to be financially secure. They want us to be stable. Like that's certainly a part of the equation. But fundamentally, a small part. But fundamentally, they do not think that work should be satisfying. That there is no fun. That there should be no joy in your life.
Yeah.
Outside
if you're a
of
doctor, you better be fucking stressed.
Yes.
Like you better not be an anesthesiologist that does like three hours of work a week and then goes golfing. Like you better be fucking struggling.
And this is like a thing that I struggle with. You and I both struggle with, like the idea that we cannot see virtue in anything outside of work. We cannot find virtue and worth in ourselves outside of work and struggle and being unable to be happy.
Yeah.
We do not find virtue in that. And
the happiest I am is when one of my best friends calls me and I have to go send to voicemail and I text them, sorry, busy right now. That's my happy place. When I'm so busy and tired that someone goes, you want to hang out? I'm like, oh my God, I wish. Can I get back to you in a month? You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. That's not cool. That's not good.
It's not cool. It's not good. But we have been lucky enough to glimpse
on the other side.
And what it looks like. And it's Tuscany. And that's the 10%. That's the 10%. That we're keeping for ourselves.
You're right.
It's like truly like it
we saw that we can one day become Diane Lane.
Yes.
Yes,
we're
under
all
the
beige.
Tuscan sun.
I'm
yes.
just truly like it's just something about that kind of goal in life. You know, like it's something that comes from capitalism because my husband thinks that work should be fulfilling. Because it's a communist idea.
Right.
That like work itself is not like the means to an end, but that like your job can be fulfilling, that you should find like have a level of pride about what you do and what you contribute to society. And like
all we think about is status. Because money and work just equals status. It's not even like my mom doesn't want me to be rich so that I could not work and chill. Mm-hmm. She wants me to be rich so that I can be better than other people.
Yes.
That's such an empty goal. Better in what? That you have more dollars? Okay. And what? What else? What else do we have?
And the thing is, what's crazy is that this conversation is almost always happening inside of a church.
It's doctrine. Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're having this discussion about status and money and worth in a place
where we should all be equal and small in front of God.
Yes. Like, we're talking about purpose here. And we're talking about simply the most empty goal. The most empty motivation in front of a place that should be filling us with nothing but purpose. And true gratitude, right? And it's
and humility and community and fraternizing. You like fellowship. Like we're missing the whole thing. And
because there's some Korean ajumas that get it. There's some ajumas like Christians that are truly Christians.
Of course,
that
there are
do
people
get
who
it.
get it.
And they're beaming. They're beaming from the inside, and that's actually fucked up too.
I can't look at that.
Like they're like too happy. I'm like, shut up. Like what's going on? Like have a little dose of reality. Like get pissed about something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they're all like, 아이고 주여 이 벌레 같은 새끼를 용서하십시오.
It's too much. I'm like, think a little less God. Like,
Yeah.
just cut that guy with a little bit of devil. Like, ugh. It's not right.
Speaking of God, I don't believe a God exists, and here's why. I don't. This is not about science. This is not about anything that has to do with the empirical evidence. Here's how I know there's no God. The other day, I was going into CVS to refill my script. And before I go in, I take a look from outside the CVS. And I see like the warm fluorescent glow of inside and all these people walking around. And I'm going, I should wear a mask. Because I'm going into somewhere unidentified.
Sure.
There's randoms, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you and I have been talking about like how much masking is going on. Chicago, nothing. LA, a little bit, right?
Okay.
But not that much even. So like usually I'm either the only one or the severe minority when it comes to masking.
Sure. In any public space, yeah.
Public space. So I go back to my car and I find my mask. And before I go into the CVS, I'm putting it's one of those masks that goes up, the strings are up and down. So like it goes around your head, right? So I'm putting it on. And this is an N95 mask, right?
Yeah.
Because like I'm not going to just fuck around with stupid masks if I'm masking, right? I'm going to mask. And like
let's go 100%. Yeah.
Right. And the N95 has like a nose grip and like hard edges to like really stick to your face, right? So I'm putting the mask over my face, but I slip and the top of the mask, the hard edgy part, slices my eyelid right above my eyelid, and I get a paper cut on my eye.
Oh my God.
As I'm putting the mask on to go in, and I'm like, fuck. And I don't know if you've ever gotten cut on your eye, but it is so painful.
Yeah,
it is
smoked.
so fucking painful. Yes. And I was just looking, and I was putting on my mask to go in there, and the sliding doors open, and the fluorescent light hits me, and I go, there cannot be a God. There is no way. Look at me trying to do the good thing and put this mask on so I'm not spreading my fucking disease mouth all over these people. And here you go, quote, God, be giving me a literal paper cut on my eyelid? No.
Oh my God.
There cannot be. I don't believe in a God. There is not. Everything is random, and we all go into a dark space after this. No fucking good deed.
Wait, do you feel self-conscious wearing a mask in those like public spaces? I wear a mask if I feel like if there's a lot of people, I do.
I used to because people would look at me like, oh, look at you. You're better than us? You think you're better than us? And like, I used to get like a little self-conscious about masking, but now I don't give a fuck. I'm like, whatever. I still have not gotten COVID. So you could kiss my fucking dirty asshole all day long. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I do. I am hesitant now more than I have been. Like I would say in the last 2 months. And I have also been in very close contact with people that have fully full blown COVID, and I haven't gotten it. So I think that has emboldened me
to not wear a mask,
to be more reckless. Yeah, and so
okay.
But when I do, I don't feel anything anymore. I truly think that it's something that in our society now, people just need to get over. Like some people are just immunocompromised and are just going to always have to wear a fucking mask now. Or some people are going to be, just the way that you don't know what people's lives are like. Maybe they're going on a trip. Yeah. Maybe they're about to see a young person, like someone who's just given birth, or see a person that is very immunocompromised. Like you just don't know what's happening in people's lives anymore. It feels like one of those things where I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like if they want to wear it, then let them wear it. Like I see it.
I've never had a problem with other people masking.
Yes.
Like
I've seen people be very weird about it. My in-laws are like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Even my
They're
mom,
like
we were going to Costco.
Yeah.
Oh, they're anti-maskers.
No, they're not anti-maskers. They're like make fun of people that are wearing masks. Like, and it's just like, why?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but they'll go out of their way to mention
that's
it.
just exactly. But that means you're something's wrong with you,
right?
Like you're just walking down the street and you see someone masking and you have to say something about it. That means you're unhappy. That has nothing to do with that other person. But anyway, I was taking my mom to Costco, And I was like, oh, mask. So she was like, 뭐라고? I don't mask. I never mask anymore. How I know on mask? I'm like, okay, well, you're going into a Costco.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of people. It's a Monday.
Yeah.
Or no, it was a Sunday.
Oh, it's
the busiest fucking day.
Yeah.
Wear a fucking mask. And she was like, oh, I don't have one. So we go back to my car, and then I grab her a mask. And my mask is in my pocket. So she's like putting it on, and we're getting to the door, and I'm reaching for it. She was like, why aren't you masking? And I'm like, I am. It's in my fucking pocket. Like, she got upset at me that she thought I wasn't going to mask. And after telling her to mask, like, what, you think I'm some kind of fucking huge hypocrite? Like, what is this? And why are you so upset about masking? Like, you're 65. You're the demo that dies.
Yes.
You're
Literally.
the people that's hogging up the fucking hospital beds.
There is a contingent. So the fact that she's been watching these the MAGA YouTube Korean stuff, are they Korean Americans or are they Koreans?
No, Koreans.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you know how I can tell? Because my mom always talks to me about how the reunification will be horrible.
Yes, that's a very conservative idea there. Yeah.
Very conservative. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want to share anything because they're worried about the overall economy being dragged
quality
down.
of life. Yeah, exactly. And she was like, oh, why would we help those people when we did it with bootstraps? And I'm like, no, you didn't. First of all of you are in crushing debt. And secondly, this is all late stage capitalism. Like, you didn't do anything. All you did was suckle up to the American teat. Like, and now you're going like, oh, goddamn communists, blah, blah. It's like the same thing that people are like, for socialism, AOC is a socialist. They're going to take, like, it's like knowing so little and being so scared.
It's really wild.
I
mean, it's like
stupid.
If you are on food stamps, you cannot be Republican.
Hello?
If you are taking government aid in any form, I mean,
exactly.
My parents were before they were on Medicaid. They were on Medicaid. They've always been on some sort of government assistance.
Yeah.
And since maybe 2008, they've been in some form of like financial assistance that they've been receiving from the government, and they've had a fucking WIC card. I remember when my mom first got it, she was very embarrassed, and now she's like proud about the deals she can get on it. I mean, like,
exactly.
It's like the second that you're taking assistance from the government, honey,
shut the fuck up.
Not allowed to be conservative.
Shut the fuck up.
You're not
exactly.
allowed. You're not allowed.
You can't do it. You don't have the right to fucking talk like that.
Unless you're a true racist. Unless you're a true racist, and that has to be real. It can't just be a bias. You have to be really racist, then you can be conservative. Like, if that's really how you feel, then you can do that. But if you're taking government assistance in any sort of way and you're not racist, you gotta be liberal. I'm sorry. It's a rule.
Yeah, and it is a rule. That's a new rule for. You know what? Let me just play this for my mom. She'll get it.
It's really wild. I mean, I don't know if it's because my parents have worked in the city always, but they've always been very open to different kinds of people because they've had so many different kinds of customers. Like my parents have always been around gay people.
Right, but that's also around like you giving me money. Like,
yes.
I'm okay with black person giving me money, but black person calling me mother-in-law? Not in my backyard.
I mean, I think very specifically because they've had dry cleaners, like gay men have kept them afloat through so many things.
Yeah.
Because if there's a contingent of the population that is continuing to dry clean, it is
the gay men.
Gay men.
Yes, yeah, especially the white gay men.
Yeah, white gay men, and also like a lot of drag queens. Like, have always had things altered. They need help with like sewing, and there's always like costumes and stuff that need to be dry cleaned.
Interesting.
So my father in particular is very open to it and like very just like, what are you gonna do? These are people. You know, it's not like. I
There's
think
no
that's
like
the only reason.
idealist kind of thing against like homophobia or whatever. It's just
no,
like,
for whatever. I'm sure in the early 90s they did feel that way, but at this point it's been so many years, and then there have been so many more, and like, I just think because of my mom's assumption that I was gay, and she also hates men, so I think she's like has this like feeling like she gets like she gets why people would not want to be married. She understands why
oh wow
the thing would it's a very progressive idea.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very progressive idea, but it's all rooted in like fear and like ultimately like Korean biases about like not of her own pain and like of marrying the wrong man and stuff. But like so whatever, but she gets it. I mean, it is weird because they're very conservative in every other way, like truly toxic. But in this very specific way, they are not.
That's great.
I know, it's very weird.
That's really
weird.
nice.
And I only think I will credit the drag community in Chicago for being responsible for that.
Thank you, Chicago drag queens.
Yeah.
We have 2 less bigoted Korean Americans now. That's the real K agenda. Yeah. All right, folks, that's all we have for today's episode. Thanks so much for listening. Check out our Patreon. Leave us a review if you love us. If you hate us, tell your friend, tell your enemies. We're around. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.